Local solutions. One challenge. Two regions. Many solutions. Welcome to Local Solutions, a podcast of the European Committee of the Regions. In Europe, migration is almost every day on the agenda. But there is much less talk about the integration of migrants in European society. And this is precisely the topic of today's episode. We will approach it by looking at two regional projects that aim at supporting the social integration of children, teenagers, and young adults from minorities and/or difficult backgrounds. The first one in Ireland and the second in Spain. In Dublin, the integration of youth from a migration background is done on the football pitch. The project Football for Unity was launched in 2021 by SARI, Sport Against Racism Ireland, with the support of the UEFA. The second edition in 2022 confirmed the success and the positive results of the initiative. Azeez Yusuff is youth leader, head coach for SARI, and general coordinator of the Football for Unity project, and he will tell you more about it.
Football for Unity project consists of football tournament for children, teenagers, young adults, both females and male. Football for Unity festival showcase the potential of sport as an education tool which can bring communities together and promote social inclusion for newcomers to Ireland. The festival took place in Dublin from 6th of June until the 15th of July this year. And through the success of 2021 Football for Unity project, the project was able to run again in 2022 this year. It's supported by UEFA Foundation for Children and Dublin City Council through the Northeast Inner City Initiative. Before we ran the program, there was an education part of the project called Football versus Discrimination. The coaches intentionally put the kids in situations that would make them reflect on what it's like to be discriminated against. And then at the end of the training, we launched a group session on what was going on the pitch and how things could be done better, how things could be improved. Because we believe learning comes through sharing feelings and personal thoughts based on what they've learned. I believe some of the main challenges that we had is accessing direct provision centers to recruit players, which is a center that hosts migrants and refugees who are waiting for their papers. So to encounter this, we speak to the kids' parents, explain what the project is about, the aim and the objective of it. Another challenge we had was team pulling out in 2021, and how we encountered that this year is to have a main contact person, communicate closely with them and build that close relationship so they don't pull out of the tournament, which was really successful. The major challenge we had in 2021 was abuse and aggressive behavior towards referees. And how we encounter this is obviously you get yellow card and red card, or we can disqualify the whole team if this continues. But in 2022, we really built a great personal relationship with the players and the team. And this really helps and make the tournament run smoothly, which was really successful. We believe the initiative was very successful, not only because of the tournament, but the engagement of the community in the event. We were able to use 4 pitches in the inner city that doesn't host football tournaments like this, and to see the attraction of people in the community coming to watch the matches, asking questions, attending all the matches was really, truly amazing to see. We managed to involve the kids' parents in the whole tournament, and also we were able to build bridges among people, which was great to see. And we can see the difference between now and 3 years ago, simply just walking down the inner city community where some people will be afraid to walk towards, and it's great to see. We believe the tournament, Football for Unity, will definitely continue in the future, and we look forward to hosting it again next year and many years.
In Catalonia, there is a high number of unaccompanied minors who have migrated illegally from Africa. They are taken care of in foster centers until they come of age, but once they turn 18, they are left to their own devices. The organization Punt de Referencia helps these young adults integrate into Spanish society. They provide support in multiple forms: housing, financial aid, job search coaching, mentoring, assistance with bureaucracy, and paperwork. But practical support is not enough, tells us Alejandra Vela, one of the social workers that worked for Punt de Referencia.
Punt de Referencia is a non-profit Catalan association promoted by Hannah and founded in 1997 with a view to provide support and family network development. Punt de Referencia work in the emancipation young people, integrate of youngsters who are enveloped in a process of emancipation. Our mission is promoted the integration, equal opportunity, improve young people quality of life, accompanies in the process of becoming emancipated adults. Or human values is our confidence, social inclusion and social protection, commitment, innovation, enthusiasm, and participation. These youngsters are protected by autonomous government of Catalonia and Spanish government to severe poverty, migration, negligence in the systems, mistreatment situations, and other kind of things. It's a big challenge because we work for the emancipation process and incorporating a more inclusive approach to improve also the inclusive process education. And also in Punt de Referencia, we have different projects about mentoring, intervention model. The other project that I work in is a housing project. Includes host families, emancipation project live, and also we have a communication with other social entities and with different social areas. And there is other projects with support educational and also cooperative projects. And we want to be an essential point of reference for these youngsters, and there is part of the work in Punt de Referencia.
Ms. Antje Grotheer is a member of the Committee of the Regions since 2020, and she is also a rapporteur on revised Schengen area governance and on new pact on migration and asylum. We reached out to her to have a broader political perspective on integration in the EU. Ms. Grotheer, migration is a delicate and much debated issue for the EU countries. When it comes to integration of migrants, how is the EU doing on a political level?
From my point of view and from our point as the Committee of the Regions, the EU could do better. of course. And they seem not to be capable of doing the things which have to be done. They only focus on matters relating to border control and to registration at the external borders, but they still do not deal with the things that have to be done with the migrants who have reached our shores, to say so. It's not only about keeping people away from the EU, but it's very important to find ways to engage with people who have reached our borders and who live within our communities. Therefore, the EU's migration policy, from our point of view, has to be fundamentally reshaped towards more solidarity.
And what is the role of the Committee of the Regions in supporting the kind of local initiatives presented in this episode, in spreading good integration practices?
In general, the role of the Committee of the Regions is to focus what is done on ground level. For me, that is very, very important. And that is why the Committee of the Regions always tries to put a light on those best practices and to spread the word, to tell other communities what has worked and what has not worked. Yeah, like in the Committee of the Regions, we have those the cities and regions for integration of migrants network, in which we share best practices with 158 like-minded cities and regions who engage in that and contribute to better understanding of integration at local level. We have high expectations towards the integration partnership concluded between the Committee of the Regions and the European Commission, because they also experience the same situation, that they are totally in need of our help and of our support, and that we can only work together.
What is your personal take on the two projects and on the local dimension of integration in general? How do you think the voice and strength of the local initiatives could have an impact on a higher EU level?
All the projects I've seen, and these as well, always show that if you bring together good ideas, good people, and a bit of money, they can reach this much for the community, this much for integration, for supporting each other, for working together, for building an integrated society in which you can stay the person you are, but live with all the other persons in peace and solidarity and in human dignity. And that is what I experienced from all those projects, because you get together people, local people, who really want to do the best for their community. And that is what we all want. And in a situation like that, states can only benefit from local and regional authorities and from local and regional communities' presence in national projects, as they can bring together the stakeholders, such as local business, for example. They can bring together all the authorities. They can bring together all people engaged in society, not only politicians. Everything we can do to support initiatives like those you mentioned would help at the end, because we have to live peacefully together, and therefore we should do more than is done at the moment.
Thank you, Ms. Grotheer, for pointing out that there is still so much work to be done, and that the EU member states can only benefit from local initiatives, like the ones we have discussed in this episode. And thanks also to Azeez Yusuff and Alejandra Vela for showing us that it is possible to achieve very concrete results working on the ground. You have been listening to Local Solutions, a podcast produced by the European Committee of the Regions, in which we look at one challenge and how it is faced in 2 European regions. Keep following us for more solutions.